To start the new playthrough, the user is required to press the New Game button. However, the user will not be granted access to the game unless he has an account and is currently logged in. Otherwise, this error message will appear on the screen instead. So let's head back to the login web page. I've been logged in successfully, which means that if I press this button again, I'll be able to access the game. Okay, I'm going to refresh the browser now. Before starting a new game, the user can change the difficulty level using this drop-down menu and then pressing on Submit button. By default, the difficulty is set to medium. I'll demonstrate how different difficulty levels influence the gameplay in a few moments. Once the game has started, neither difficulty level menu nor the New Game button will be accessible up until the game is finished. However, the user can completely reset the game at any time by pressing Reset button, which will take him back to the very beginning, and allowing him to either start a new game straight away or change the difficulty level. Otherwise, the New Game button will only work again if the current playthrough session has ended. So if I make a mistake here, two different screens will be displayed one after another, and I will be prompted to either use a reset button if I want to change the difficulty, or simply press the New Game button again if I want to continue playing on the current difficulty level. So here's the first screen and the second one. The goal of my game is to memorize and repeat the pattern of the flashing light bulbs. The number of flashes increment by 1 with each passing round, starting from just one flash at the beginning of the game and going up as high as the user is able to memorize and repeat the pattern. Each light bulb has a corresponding number assigned to it. So red is 1, green is 2, blue is 3, and yellow is 4. As per marking criteria requirements, the game is controlled by the command text field. To progress through the game, the user must memorize the exact order in which the light bulbs are flashing, and then repeat it by inputting the correct sequence of numbers in the command text field. I'm going to demonstrate it now. So start the new game. The red light bulb has flashed briefly, which means I have to type in 1 in the command text field and then either press enter or click on OK button. Since my answer was correct, I was granted 10 points and one more light bulb has flashed. Before it was just the red one, and this time green one has flashed as well, which means I have to now type in 1 for the red light bulb and 2, which corresponds with the green light bulb, and then press enter. So 1, 2, enter. I was also correct, so I received another 10 points, and yet another light bulb flash was added to the sequence. So 1, 2, 1, and so on. During the light bulb flashes, the user is unable to use the command line, otherwise it would be too easy to set a new high score. Once the light bulb stops flashing, the command line is enabled again, and the cursor is automatically positioned in the text field for the player's convenience. The game ends as soon as I make a mistake. So let's type in an incorrect answer. So my final result was 40 points, and it took me 152 seconds to achieve this result. This amount of time will be then added and stored in one of my account's attributes as an overall amount of time spent while playing the game. So in my case, it's 152. As mentioned previously, I can change the difficulty levels, which will influence the speed of the game, as well as the multiplier that is used to calculate the result. So for instance, if I set it to easy and press submit button, each light bulb flash will last for 2 seconds instead of 1, and the user will be granted 5 points for each correct answer instead of 10. 2 seconds, 5 points. If I set it to hard mode instead, the flashes will only last for half a second, and I will be rewarded 15 points for the correct answer. Every time the new game button is pressed, a brand new random sequence of light bulb flashes will be generated and used. For instance, it's 1 and then 2. So if I start a new game, it's 3 and then 4 this time around. Also, one of the algorithms prevent the same light bulb from flashing consecutively more than once in a row.